What's going on, guys? Aaron from Top Tier Gaming here, and today I'm coming at you with a Mikanko Libromancer deck profile, and also I'm going to be showing a combo and a test hand to sort of show how the deck works and how you can play it. And there's actually a bunch of different lines in the deck and a bunch of different plays you can make, which I think make this deck really cool, and I think it's currently the best use of the Mikanko archetype. There's also Infernoble that's pretty good as well, but yeah, before I hop into the deck profile, I do want to let you guys know Discord link down below along with all of our other social media links. Also, I am trying to climb the 10k ladder. We are extremely close to 13k. I think we only need like 100 more. So if you do enjoy this Yu-Gi-Oh content and you like what you see here, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps me out and what I do here on the channel. And without further ado, let's start talking about this Mikanko Libromancer deck profile that I will now put on the screen. And yeah, it's a little bit different from some builds. In my testing, I found things I liked and I didn't like. If you're familiar with the more standard build, I am running some cards that I'm going to explain that don't get run in the other version, explain how I got to this point and why my list looks a little different. And yeah, like some of the ratios overall and a card I'm deciding to play that a lot of builds do not. So it's definitely interesting compared to some, and I'm sure people who know the deck will want to hear why I'm running those cards. So I am going to do a quick sort of overview of the deck and breakdown of the profile and the ratios while I'm playing what I'm playing. But I guess more of the like highlight of this video is the combos, because this deck is actually pretty convoluted in a sense where if you like look at the list, you wouldn't know where you're going unless you've seen it before, or you know, you're just very, very intuitive. But yeah, let's start talking about the deck. So let's start with the Mikanko cards. So I've run one Hare, one Nini, one Ohime, which looks a little weird, right? Great Mikanko Ceremony, Arabesque. All the names have actually changed since they released in the TCG, so I'm reading some of these new names for the first time. Reflection Rondo and Fire Dance. Now, this is only 7 cards of a Mikanko engine, which seems weird when like the deck, there's so much Mikanko going on when you're playing it, and that's because like the whole deck searches itself. So even though you're not playing a large amount of Mikanko cards, you're only playing 7, they're very prevalent in the list, right? I'll also point out in the side deck, I have a Kagura and I have a Purification Dance. These 2 cards are amazing, but when you're just trying to play the game, like game 1, and just like play and not brick and combo, I don't know, I feel like if you're siding for go first, you can side this in, and you can side this in for go second, because you actually don't need either of these cards in my testing. Maybe after testing a little more, I might want to play more, but I'm already at 43 cards in this version of the list, so yeah, you can main these and cut certain cards you don't like and try to play these as well. But I feel they're not needed in the main deck after what I've been testing with. So next up is the Libromancer part of the deck, which is part of like the main core of the deck, is how you get to all of your plays. So we have 3 fire, hands down the most important card of the deck, maybe shared with Diviner in a sense, but your hands when you draw fire like get somewhere good, and your hands where you don't draw fire can be very weird. Like there are some lines where if you open Geek Boy, it's still fine. But yeah, you want to open a way to fire or Geek Boy, not the field spell. You don't really want to open the field spell, funny enough. Opening the field spell and opening Geek Boy are not the same thing in this list. So yeah, 3 fire, we want to maximize him. 2 Geek Boy, 3 teleport, 2 agent, 1 Doom Broker, and 1 fire starter, which like no one plays. And I'll explain this card when I bring this card up here. I'm actually going to organize the deck profile a little different now that I'm looking at it. We're going to put the 3 Signet Mining up here. So as I just said, this deck without fire doesn't do what it is like intending to do, which is, this is a card you will not see in this list quite often, but this card has been amazing for me because if you play fire starter, this card like doubles down and is doing double duty, right? Because you need exactly 2 different types of cards to really get where you want. You need a Libromancer monster and you need a Ritual monster. And you run 6 rituals, which is an okay amount, and you run 3 preps, so 9 rituals. But you have more if you run Firestarter and Signet Mining. So this is like a searchable ritual monster through Signet if you already have the fire, right? Otherwise, you are just using Signet as a way to get to fire. Now, this is a card I haven't seen anyone play. In my testing, it's been great. And at just making the deck super consistent. Like we were at 40 and essentially it adds 3 mining if you want to think about it like that. But it's weird because also the Firestarters is in there. And this card's fine to draw 2 because even though you're not really summoning it often, if at all really, just being a ritual in your hand can be quite relevant. So, but it does have situations where it could come up, right? So next we have the 2 first appearance, which is part of the Libromancer package. This is a very important card for your Geek Boy, but also it actually allows you to ritual summon in the deck. And the effect to ritual summon is not once per turn, which is huge. One intervention, which is a trap you're setting off Doom Broker. And then to the next sort of package, we have the 3 Diviner and a Ben 10. I'll include this here. I've seen a lot of lists play like 3 Ben 10, but if you're playing with your fire line, you actually just search your 1 Ben 10 anyways, depending on what other ritual you open. Like, it's so weird explaining which rituals to search off of your Herald of Arclight down here when you're searching for rituals, because it like depends on which one you already opened, which one you search, right? So but Ben 10 comes up a lot to search in the hands where you either don't have Diviner and need to get to it, and you contribute it to summon your Doom Broker essentially off of your field spell. So yeah, I've seen some people max this out just to open it more. I feel like that almost never really matters. I'm searching it when I need it. So 3 Diviner though is very important. It's pretty much you want to see it and Starter. They're like the 2 cards in your deck you're trying to see the fastest, because they open up a bunch of different lines, and you will see that in the test hand. The 1 Magician Souls and 2 Illusion of Chaos, I usually don't like this ratio. I usually actually prefer 2 Magician Souls and 1 Illusion of Chaos, but in this deck where you actually just really want to see a ritual monster, the 2 Illusion I think makes sense. You only need the 1 Souls essentially. 3 Prep just to search any ritual. You 100% need these, and it gets a little better after Kagura's in your deck, going second maybe. There's potential to like use Kagura multiple times if it gets negated. Yeah. 1 Renaud, most important brick in the deck, and you will see that in the combo I am about to show right after this profile. He is very important. Another like cool thing to note about Illusion of Chaos is you really don't want to draw this guy. It's not terrible if you do, but it's not great. And Illusion of Chaos can, especially since you run 2, you can actually put back bricks from your hand to the top of the deck instead of Illusion, which is nice. Then some Go Second cards. I have 3 Lava Golem, 3 Tactics. You don't get that much room for Go Second cards, but it's oftentimes fine, and you'll end up siding a lot more Go Second cards. And then 1 Called by the Grave, because, I mean, hand traps suck, right? And we're also in tier limit format, so this does have interactions where it either baits a fusion somehow, or you can hit, like, things preemptively, Orange Light even. You just really have to watch out for shufflers, and that's about it. To the extra deck, which I don't know if this extra deck is 100% refined. I think this is everything you need, but maybe there's a couple of different choices you can make and do different lines to use different cards, but you need Ferocious Flame Swordsman so that you can turn Fire and Geek Boy into a warrior monster. Then you have Isolde, Cross Sheep, which is really good because you can like draw 2, discard 2 with a ritual on field linked to it, which allows you to get Diviner engraved sometimes. The Elf to bring back Diviner, IP Masquerena because it's solid, Donner's like an out to Baguska and just threats in general, Unicorn, Appaloosa, Access Code, those are pretty standard, Natisse for your Diviner for either Go Second plays or as an interrupt on your opponent's turn, 2 Herald of Arclight. You're gonna like make 1 and link it off to search, and then you need another one to send off Diviner, but sometimes you can also make it just as an interruption if you have gas, or if you're playing against tier, because if you know you're playing against tier elements, you do want this card really badly because it's insane. Barone, Crocodragon. I feel like earlier in the list when I was playing this deck, I had lines that made Crocodragon, but you shouldn't be going into this too often in my opinion. It can come up for sure with like a level 6 Diviner and a Geek Boy instead of the Fire, which again can come up, but yeah. And then Zeus is here just for tactics to take one of their Xyz and then you can make Zeus with it. Just because like sometimes, I don't know. I put this Zeus in here because maybe I just had a flex spot and I thought that would come up, but I don't think that's going to come up too much. You can definitely mess with this extra deck a little bit, but that is the deck profile and explaining it. Now I'm going to show you a like 1 card combo so you guys can get a feel for the main line of the deck, and then I'm going to show you guys a test hand, which are like the biggest parts of the video. So alright, so now I'm going to show you guys essentially 1 card combo. It's Fire plus a ritual monster. It can be any ritual monster to get to where you need to go, but it can be like your lines will end up different later in the combo based on what ritual you start with and what your hand is. So I want to show you guys essentially where Fire gets us, because he is the combo, right? So we're going to activate Fire to special summon Revealing Illusion. Fire effect is going to go search the Geek Boy from our deck to our hand. Geek Boy effect to special summon Reveal the Illusion. Every time you use a Libromancer effect, you reveal a ritual monster. Geek Boy effect to go add First Appearance. We're going to activate First Appearance to search Agent, and then we're able to link off Fire and Geek Boy to make the Ferocious Flame Swordsman, again, essentially just putting a warrior on the field, because Agent is a warrior. So now we can special summon the agent, use his effect to add back fire. This is the one you're more often going to be adding back to your hand, but if you access Geek Boy with like teleport and you haven't used his effect, there are lines where you want to bring him back to your hand instead. Link those off for Isolde effect to add. You can either play the second agent and search him here, or you can play a Gear Freed. I've seen some people do that. I opt for the second agent. Then you're going to use Isolde, dumping Mikanko Water Arabesque, and special summon Renaud. And this is why Renaud is so important, is for this line right here. Renaud effect, add the Arabesque from your graveyard to your hand, activate it, use the effect to special a Mikanko from deck, bounce the monster it was equipped to, which was Renaud, and then the Arabesque will equip to Hare. So now Renaud goes back to hand, Hare effect will activate to search Mikanko Fire Dance, which is a reborn. Then you're able to special Renaud because you have a Fire Warrior monster on your field. Now you have a level 1 tuner and a level 3 monster, non-tuner, that can make Arc-like, and Renaud is a tuner because he special summoned himself with his own effect. In fact, where does it say? Where does it say that right here? If this card is summoned this way, treat this card as a tuner. There we go. So you make the Arc-like, and then you instantly link off with it to go into Cross Sheep, and then Arc-Light will activate to add Doom Broker. Again, depending on which rituals you have in hand, this is where your lines will start to change based on what you opened with. But we need the Doom Broker, bare minimum, we need Doom Broker here. So we're going to put Doom Broker out on the field, use his effect to set a trap card, which is going to be Intervention because that's the one we play. Then we will Fire Dance. The reason I didn't activate Cross Sheep instantly, by the way, is so that I can set this trap and not draw it. Because I still have a way to proc Cross Sheep. So we're going to bring back the Hare, Cross Sheep effect, draw 2, and discard 2, but we drew Diviner. I was planning to sort of like, wow, that came out weird. I was planning to end the combo sort of around here, because once you get here, your lines change depending on what you have. But since I drew Diviner, I kept on going, because you really want to get Diviner engraved this way. So now we can continue play, take the Hare and the Cross Sheep to make the Sprite Elf. Again, this is where lines start diverging, so if you don't have Diviner here, it would be much different and you'd go different routes. But your objective is to find Diviner with your opening hand, right? And if you see Diviner, this is where you can go, right? So Sprite Elf, special Diviner, Diviner effect, dump the Arc-Light effect, go get the Ohime, which is your sort of goal because you want her on your end board. Normal summon the Fire because we haven't normal summoned it, and you mostly add Fire because he's level 4. It allows you to go into Baron with your level 6 Diviner. Now we can use the Ohime effect. I'm not going to go crazy with Illusion of Chaos because this was supposed to be like a 1-card combo kind of. So I don't need to go Magician Souls and like, you know, you might not always open Illusion, right? So I'm just going to use it as the discard for Ohime. Activate the Mikanko Ceremony, which special summons her, and then you can use the Ceremony effect in Graveyard to send the Mikanko Reflection Rondo, which is going to be an interrupt with your Ohime. So you end with Sprite Elf, which can bring back Diviner, which is an interrupt because you can send a Tease, which that's 1 interrupt. Baronne is 2 interrupts. You have the Trap with Doom Broker, which is 3 interrupts, and stops go second cards. And then you have Ohime to equip Rondo to your opponent's monster to steal. So that's 4 interrupts off of what is like 1 card, but we end up seeing Diviner. But again, your lines are so different past that point. I just wanted to show you how we're funneling into our plays so you guys kind of know the combo. And now with that being there, I'm going to show you guys the test hand for this video, which opening hands, it is playable because we have Teleport, which can get Geek Boy. So we open Ritual, and Geek Boy, which allows you to get to Fire. And then we also opened Fire Dance, which can be pretty good as well. So starting off, we're going to E-Tele for the Geek Boy effect to add First Appearance. And then First Appearance is going to activate and search the Fire. Then we're able to activate the Fire, special summon him, and then search the Agent. Then we're able to link these off again. We have seen this play now that I've shown you guys the 1-card combo. This is something you're always trying to funnel into if you open Libromancer, because it's a way the engines link. Like, the way these engines play together is essentially Isolde, and being able to get there without your normal summon is particularly nice. So Isolde search Agent, then we're going to go for the same play where Renaud goes and dumps the Arabesque, add back, and then we're able to special summon the Hare, search for Rondo this time because we opened the Fire, which is huge, because it means since we're having a test hand, we can go farther, and having this is very nice, which you guys will see later. Special summon the Renaud to make the Arc-Light. Again, we're going Cross Sheep. And we just have so many cards in hand, right? Like, and your hand just keeps growing. This deck is actually so crazy sometimes. Now we're able to search the Ben 10, tribute it for Doom Broker, which will allow us to proc the Ben 10, and search the Diviner. This is why I run 1 Ben 10, right? Like if you're playing, usually you can get to Ben 10 regardless. And that just gives us easy access to Diviner. So Doom Broker, set the trap. Illusion of Chaos is going to be able to get Magician Souls, which is why we didn't have to proc Cross Sheep on the chain right there. Because we have another special summon in Magician Souls. So special the Souls, Cross Sheep effect, draw 2 discard. And we draw the Nini. You don't actually have to draw this to get to your end board. You can dump it with Ceremony in this hand. But since we drew it, we're just going to go ahead and discard it. Souls effect, discard a Talents and the field spell. Draw into Diviner and a Fire, which doesn't really matter because they're both spent. Gonna link those off for Elf because Cross Sheep is linked to. Elf effect, bring back Diviner. Diviner effect to send. Gonna send the Arclight, which allows Arclight to use its effect and search the Ohime. Which if you already have Diviner and you use Ben 10's effect, Ben 10 can actually search her because she's a light fairy, which is nice. Now we're able to normal summon the Fire, make Baron. Ohime effect, gonna go ahead and add Ceremony. You've seen this before, but now it's a lot more with a full test hand. We dumped the Rondo because we need it in Graveyard, so that's really good. Gonna go ahead and activate the Fire Dance to bring back Nini. So essentially, it's the same as what we had. Again, we didn't use this Ceremony, right? So if you didn't draw Nini and dump it, you can just dump Nini here with the Ceremony because it dumps a Mikanko card. So instead of what we opened before, essentially we also get to end with Nini equipped with an equip spell, which means we have an additional interrupt because when she's equipped, she can quick effect, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and take it until the end phase. So yeah, this is the board. You still have 4 cards in hand, which is pretty insane. Follow-up, we have Tactics. It's just a lot. The deck can do so much, and it can combo a lot. Downsides of the deck is it can be very fragile to certain hand traps, and it has a tougher time going second. But you can side a lot for that issue, and if you draw Lava Golem, you can do really sick things with Arabesque and whatnot. So yeah, this is the Mikanko deck. It's something I've been wanting to upload for a while. People probably knew I was going to play it because it's a waifu deck. I just tend to play all of those. And yeah, it's a deck I really enjoy, and I was considering it. I think it's a little weird in tier limit format, but maybe for a future format as well, I think it could be good. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of it down below, how you're running it. I know the silent mining seem a little strange to some people probably, because that's not something I've seen other people run. But I think it could be good. So, you guys can let me know what you think of that down below as well. This has been Aaron from Top Tier Gaming. Bye, YouTube.